The easiest way. Solve your problems and take the road to love, happiness, wealth, and the life of your dreams by Mabel Katz. I'm going to give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. Number one, the subject, that's like 4 stars right there. And then what takes it over the top is that Mabel Katz studied with Dr. Hugh Lin directly. Uh, so did Dr. Vitale, and I've read his books and I've watched his teachings. His energy is way vastly different than Mabel Katz's. She has a softer energy, not because she's a woman per se, but because she's not always trying to market a product. And I had to do Ho'oponopono when I first read Zero Limits because it seemed like every other page uh, it seemed like every other page, Joe Vitale was trying to sell another gig, another, book, another lecture. So that was kind of a turnoff. But I have since been able to read Hope or at zero. I've since been able to read at zero, and I don't get as triggered. And I know he has done Ho'oponopono over his books as well. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to read an excerpt from pages 100 to 135. Let's see. The Hawaiian art of Ho'oponopono uses two very important tools, the words I love you and thank you. When we use them aloud and say them to someone, they are tremendously powerful and valuable. Sometimes, even if you do not feel like it, you will find it extremely powerful to do the following. When someone does something you consider unfair, when someone says something that bothers you, instead of answering them, instead of giving them a piece of your mind and trying to convince them that you are right, you can repeat in your mind as many times as necessary, I love you, I love you, I love you, or thank you, thank you, thank you. These tools often bring about surprising results. Sometimes the person asks for forgiveness when we least expect it. Other times things remain the same, but we no longer notice or are affected by them. With certain people, the difficulties are less severe than with others. With some people, we have more stories, more tapes. We must not forget that everything changes according to our perception of events, people, and situations. The same happens to everyone. Everything depends on their perception, their point of view, and their memories. Life is like a movie that we have already seen many times and that keeps repeating itself over because we keep on reacting every time it plays. Our reaction to problems is a repetition of memories. Problems are often obstacles that we have already encountered but that we have never resolved. For this reason, the situation returns to give us the opportunity to react in a different way. People often come into our lives in order to show us the parts of ourselves that we need to work on. Relationships are simply mirrors in which we see ourselves reflected. We have the option to choose not to react. We can turn the other cheek, the cheek of love. Knowing this, we can become conscious and choose to make ourselves responsible. For example, if someone has problems with their children, the best thing to do is talk to them when they are asleep. The only thing you need to tell them is that you love them and that you are grateful to them for being in your life. It is not proper to tell them your point of view unless they ask for it. It is not productive to try to convince them that you are right and they are wrong. It is very difficult to know what is right for ourselves. How can we possibly know what is right for others? Yes, indeed. People try to tell me what to do, and I don't know why, and that's something I can clear and do Ho'oponopono over. I used to be open to receiving feedback, and I still am to a certain extent, but sometimes I get unsolicited feedback, and usually I know what I'm doing, and sometimes if it's coming from inspiration, I definitely want to get out of the way and let the divine operate in me. And so I don't appreciate it, and I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So I don't appreciate it, and I'm going to clear over that. I don't appreciate it when people try to tell me what to do. I got this. I'm a woman of a certain age. I don't need you telling me what I need to do. So this is a great opportunity to clear. So I'm going to make a note to clear unsolicited advice. Give me one moment while I write that down. I typically don't edit my videos, so if I ask for a moment, please give me a moment. And thank you for being here with me. Let's see. Gratitude is also a very powerful tool. When we feel depressed or sorrowful, the best thing we can do is think about all the good things in our lives we can be grateful for. By doing that, we will change our energy very quickly. We elevate ourselves and we are higher than our problems. Sometimes we don't even realize everything that we have because we concentrate instead of what we think is missing, and think is in quotes. In truth, we already have everything, including love. We only have to give our permission to receive it and therefore be able to experience it. So, Dr. Hewlin, I believe it was Dr. Hewlin, says that once we clear, we are already abundance, but because of our programs, um, we're not able to see or perceive the abundance that we already have. But when we clear, the abundance is there. We know that we have abundance, we're able to perceive it. Also, Dr. Joseph Murphy said that the will of God for us is abundance. And so, we have these subconscious programs that block us from that. Okay. The secret to happiness is not in looking outside or in looking for more, it is in developing our capacity to love and enjoy ourselves more. Uh, these past couple of weeks, I have been on vacation, and I've just been saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, like over and over and over again. And then sometimes I would switch to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And what I've noticed is sometimes I would just be blissed out. And then as I walk in the world doing what I need to do, that energy is contagious. I know it is because people will like start waving to me. I'd be in my own little bubble world, and I'll be walking, minding my business, and people will just like come out of the woodworks and go out of their way to say hi, and they're full of um, smiles, and and then that creates a synergy. When I like, if I have a conversation someone with someone and they have that energy and I have the energy, it's like I get so blissed out. I'm out of the world, out of this world per se. Okay, so we're going into another chapter. I think that previous chapter was love, and I did start in the middle of it because that's where I needed to pick up in the book, pick up where I left off. I have been reading this book as I've been waiting for appointments, and so it was in my purse, but I switched the book out and I just wanted to make sure I read the remaining pages. Um, I read up to page 100, and then I skipped to the back of the book where the questions were because I felt inspired to. And usually, when that happens, when it's a nonfiction book and I'm led to or inspired to skip sections, it's because I need to hear what that section has to say. Okay, now we're going into chapter 7, the shortest and easiest way. And you guys, Ho'oponopono is the easiest way. Like, literally, it is the easiest way. I have spent untold thousands of dollars going to different seminars, not to mention my time. And of course, I am grateful for that. Everything works out has as it's supposed to work out, and everything works for my good. However, Ho'oponopono, it's easy. You just say in your mind, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and it's free. Yes, I did buy the book. Yes, I did buy the $33 Ho'oponopono classes, and I don't regret that. But other than that, say I spent $100 with books and the digital classes, $100 for peace and ease of mind. And the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. I felt like things have been added unto me. Like I said in the from the previous chapter, once you clear your stuff, you know, you perceive, you see the abundance that you already have had and already have. Okay, the shortest and easiest way. The only thing God is asking from us is that we take good care of ourselves and that we say, I am sorry. Or you could also say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Or please forgive me. And that quote was by Dr. Hewlin. Okay, we're on page 107. When I woke up and began my search, I tried different ways and paths to get to the truth. The more I tried, the more I felt that something inside of me was saying that there had to be a faster and easier way. Oh, and I forgot, yes, Ho'oponopono is faster. When I finally discovered Ho'oponopono, I did not realize immediately what I had found. I took the training several times, and one day, while in a class taught by my teacher, um, Dr. Hugh Lin, I realized that this was what I had been searching for. I didn't need anything else. Now, that is true. We don't need anything else. If you do need something else, Ho'oponopono will inspire you to be led to something else. But I mean, this is so true. You can just say, I love you, I love you, love you all your life, and that is all you need. Oh my gosh. Like, when you, so basically, the kingdom of God is in us, which is love. Love, love, love. Love is um, it's the cure, it's the wonder drug, it's the miracle pill. Um, I've been going through a situation, and I know that my erroneous thoughts have led me here, and I'm just clearing, clearing, clearing. I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen, but I just know that this is working. Let's see. She says, I didn't need anything else. Thank God my search had ended. First and foremost, I discovered that I neither needed nor dependent on any guru. So she didn't need anyone else. She didn't need to depend on anyone else. Um, the answers are within, and that's one thing that I have found with Ho'oponopono. You don't need to look outside, and because we grew up in this world, and we probably all have this where we want to get external validation, not necessarily saying, oh, you're so pretty or whatnot, but the external validation is, am I right? Am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right path? When I tell you I have been freed of that, hunties, I have been freed of that. I don't care what anyone thinks. If I am inspired to do something, I'm going to do it. And it's not to be rude or to put down anyone else's opinion. It's more of a self reliance and a self confidence or Godfidence, because you know that you are being led by divinity, you're being led from a place and space of love. Okay. She further says, I can carry out the process alone because I communicate directly with divinity without an intermediaries. Intermediaries, I think that's the word. With Catholicism, my mom was Catholic, and then she switched to fundamentalist Christian. With the reason why she made the switch is because she always had to go through someone else. And with Christian, and as a Christian, she could go directly with God. And so I feel like that's what Mabel Katz is saying here. The only things required are to clean and to erase. I'm sorry, please forgive me. And so that's an example of cleaning and erasing by saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. While I am taking 100% responsibility in cleaning, I am leaving everything in God's hands. As long as I am cleaning, I will not have reason to worry. God makes sure to put me in the right place at the perfect time. As long as I am cleaning, there will be someone to take care of me. I don't need to do it. And what I have discovered when cleaning, things build upon things like synchronicities, for lack of a better word. There's so many synchronicities. In this last chapter, I would like to summarize the most important points of Ho'oponopono, the wise ancient doctrine that has given me the tools that have changed my life. These concepts are very simple. The only thing that divinity asks of us is that we assume all responsibility, that we ask forgiveness, and that we take good care of ourselves. That is all. Taking 100% responsibility is the shortest way. When we realize that it is only our programs, quote unquote, that do not allow us to see things clearly, when we stop blaming outside factors and we decide to take responsibility, only then will heaven's doors open up for us and we can reach a state of infinite possibilities. Facts. On the other hand, when we are upset with someone or about something, we lose our freedom. Our own feelings of hate condemn us and tie us down. We are slaves to them. We only hurt ourselves in this manner. We can free ourselves through forgiveness. Forgiveness is a part of the shortest and easiest way, but it is not necessary to speak with anyone to let them know that we have forgiven them. This is an internal job. It is a process that takes place between us and God when we say, I am sorry. Please forgive me for what is going on in me that has created this situation/problem. In my case, for example, it's not that I no longer get angry, it's that I no longer react or have problems. The big difference is that now my anger only lasts a few minutes until I return to my center, until I remind myself and become aware. And that's what it is with me. I don't not get angry. I do get angry at certain things. Certain things irritate me, but then I know that I'm responsible for this, my programs, and so I just clean, 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 clean. And when you're busy cleaning and saying thank you, I love you don't have time to get angry. You don't have time to focus on anyone else. You just are having your relationship with love. Let's see. Then I tell myself, I am creating this. They are my thoughts of the other person. It is a product of my own programming, my recordings, my perception. I can erase it. This simple process gives me a peace that I can't describe with words. Why? Because I don't stay trapped in thoughts like, how could he say that to me? How could she do that to me? I don't expect the other person to change, react in a specific way, or do something specific. What a relief. I don't depend on anyone or anything outside of myself. I don't expect myself to be perfect or to please the whole world. I don't need to convince anyone of my point of view. I learn to respect and understand that we all have free will and not all of us choose the same things. This reality brings me a lot of inner peace. There is no problem. Good and bad are parameters that we create in our minds. As long as we love ourselves and take care of ourselves, we will love and take care of others as well. That is so true. If you are doing Ho'oponopono and you're in a state of grace and you're in a state of love, you are in a state of grace and things somehow take care of themselves. Not 100% of the time, but I've discovered that things that, like if there's a pressure to get something done, oh, I have to do this by a certain date, but then I just go into Ho'oponopono and I'm not inspired to do that, either that will resolve itself or there will be an extension. This has happened so many times. Okay, so then what are the keys to this freeing process? First and foremost, it is necessary to take complete responsibility for our lives. We have to learn to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is going on in me that is creating this. In this way, we take responsibility, and from there, the process of forgiveness and transmutation begins. We are forgiving ourselves. Since we have memories in common, it is enough for you to take responsibility of asking for forgiveness for those memories to be erased. When they get erased from your consciousness, they get erased from others as well. However, it is important to remember that when you do this cleaning, you do it for yourself, not for others. Okay? And that is so true. The distinction for me is the law of attraction would say, um, if you are in gratitude, you get more things to be grateful for. But if you start focusing on the things to be grateful for, you're missing the whole point. It's seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, or seek ye to be grateful first, then the things will be added to you. But if you start focusing on the things, you're getting the equation backwards. We are here to save ourselves and nobody else. But the beauty of this process is that it benefits everyone. It's like the movie The Butterfly Effect. Well, I don't remember the movie, but the term butterfly effect, it's like a butterfly flapping its wings in India will create a storm in, where did they say, like, will create a hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean, per se. You affect others. So if you're clear, other people will be affected and will show up different in your reality. But we're not going to focus on that. We focus on getting clear first. It is also important to surrender and accept that the intellect doesn't know anything. So the mind doesn't know anything. But that there is a part of us that knows what is perfect and right for us and the best way to achieve it. If we allow it to do that, that part that does know will guide us to find the right and perfect solution for all our problems. In order to see the results of this cleaning, it is important to do it all the time, like breathing. Do you know what happens if we forget to breathe? The same occurs with this cleaning. It has to be done all the time. Of course, we are human beings, and many times we will forget. Other times we won't be able to help it, and we will react. The important thing is to practice this method as much as possible, even when it looks like nothing is happening or when problems do not appear to be arising. Why? Because the mind plays the tapes all the time. It permanently repeats the programs that we have recorded, even if we are not aware of it. Luckily, we will always have the possibility to erase it. This way, we give permission for new ideas and opportunities to appear in our lives. Many times, these will come from the people and places we would least expect it. It is necessary to practice, practice, practice. Throughout our entire lives, we have practiced reacting and suffering. Yes, okay, we have incorporated reacting and suffering so far into our lives that we do it almost automatically. And I said yes because um, the other day I was thinking we are programmed to react in anger, but that's a habit. We can form good habits. We don't have to react in anger. Anger is comfortable because that's all we know. But once we have a new tool like Ho'oponopono, we can have a new habit. Okay? Let's see. We are experts, masters, and I would even say we are addicted. Oh my gosh, we are addicted to this way of living. In the beginning, cleaning might seem difficult, but we learn to incorporate it into our daily life like breathing, and it becomes automatic because we begin to feel different and we see the results. We begin to see changes in our lives. We begin to experience a profound inner peace. I don't know where this came from, so I can't uh, give credit where credit is due. But just like we needed what 2 years to learn to walk, we need time to get into this habit of love. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is important not to have expectations. The secret is being open and flexible because we never know where it is going to come from. We have to trust that the right thing will come. The right thing for us will come. Perhaps it won't be what we were expecting, but it will be the right thing. This is not because we were not heard, because it is a test or because we did not deserve it. Let me read that again. Perhaps it won't be what we were expecting, but it will be the right thing. This is not because we were not heard, because it was a test, or because we did not deserve it. We have to allow ourselves to be surprised by the universe. So that's surrender. In that way, we receive the most incredible gifts. The law of the universe is that when we ask, we receive. The universe has to respond. Just like there's the law of gravity, there's the law of asking and receiving. It is necessary to ask and to give permission. One way of asking is by using the tools of Ho'oponopono, but we have to detach ourselves from the result. This is done by knowing and trusting that the right and perfect thing for us will come. Speaking of detaching from results, the way my mind works, I want to know what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Well, I used to, excuse me. What's going to happen in 1 year from now? If I do this, what's going to happen? Who am I going to meet? My mind was so attached to the answers and to the results, and Ho'oponopono has mostly freed me of that. And I can still do it some more so I can be 100% clear. But for me, if you knew me to be like, okay, I'm surrendering, I don't know what's going to happen, um, you would you would just be like, wow, that's a 180, because I always used to want to know the answers. I didn't like lab work when I was um, pre med. I didn't like lab work. I always liked the lectures because that was the answers. I never liked not knowing. And Ho'oponopono has allowed me the space to just be an allowance and to be in an in a mode of surrender. Now then, there are many tools to erase the programs that our mind repeats. I am sharing the basic and most important ones here. Thank you and I love you. For example, all you need is to just repeat mentally, thank you, thank you, thank you all the time. With these words, we stop the tapes and we allow God to take care of us and our problems. You guys, like, uh, one day all I did was say thank you, thank you, thank you. And one day all I did was say I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm telling you, I was blissed out, and it's like it causes ripple effects. Let's see. With these words, thank you, thank you, thank you, I love you, I love you, I love you. With these words, we stop the tapes and we allow God to take care of us and our problems. Many times people tell me, how can I pay attention when people talk to me if I'm thinking thank you? In the first place, it is important to remember that people almost never say what they really mean. If someone tells us their problem, they are only doing it to give us the opportunity to erase and clean the memories that we have in common. Remember that they are only our screens, our monitors. Next time, before reacting, before giving advice or opinions, think, I love you or thank you. Most likely, you will end up saying exactly what that person needed to hear instead of what you thought they needed to hear. Yes, yes, yes. Many times it is not even necessary to talk, to answer, or to say anything in order for the person to end up feeling better, or suddenly, in a miraculous way, to end up finding the answer to their problems all by themselves. I love you and thank you are the I love you and thank you are the passwords. When I am worried about my children, anxious about money, or resentful towards someone, I don't allow my intellect to impose itself and start the chatter. I mentally repeat, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't have even the slightest doubt that it works, but it is essential to remember that if we decide to try it, different persons have different experiences. Maybe we will see immediate results. Maybe they will take some time. Maybe we won't become aware of anything until long after it has happened. I once told my 16-year-old son, Lionel, that when he got hurt, he could simply think, thank you. One day we were having breakfast and he showed me that he had gotten hurt. I asked him, Lionel, did you say thank you? His answer was, yes, Mom. And you know what? When I'm feeling frustrated or anxious, I also use it and it really calms me down. In that moment, I remembered that thank you can be used for any kind of suffering, whether it be physical or emotional. And I had mentioned this in a previous video. I think it was one of the Course in Miracles video where, or maybe not, maybe it was Ho'oponopono is in the Bible. But basically, one of the scriptures says, in everything, give thanks. And I do that. And I've been doing that for everything. Um, I've done it for someone overcharging me, and I was inspired to call the company back, and it's going to be taken care of. I've done it for pains. I've done it for good food. I've done it for bad customer service, and everything give thanks. Okay. Another time, I said to my son, Lionel, I know I talk about things that sound kind of weird, but they really work. He answered, Yes, Mom, of course they work. Remember when you told me what I had to do in school? Well, after I did it, I started getting better grades. A little while ago, Lionel told me that he could not believe how well he was getting along with all his teachers. It is worth mentioning at this time that physical problems, illnesses are also memories that can be erased and cleaned. We are used to treating pain or physical maladies, but that is not where the problem lies. The problem is in the memory. The tape is playing. How do we know which one? How do we find it? Well, we do not need to know which memory or which recording because God knows. It's only necessary to give permission. For example, by repeating thank you or I love you, then God can remove the tape or the program that contains those memories and others that are also on the same tape. Even if we do not know, even if we do not even know they are there. But we must give permission. If not, God cannot do anything. My son Jonathan fought constantly with his girlfriend. I suggested that the next time they had a fight, he could choose to keep his mouth shut, stay quiet, and mentally repeat the words, I love you. A few days later, he called me and said he needed to talk to me. He told me that he had some trouble with his girlfriend, but that this time he was very concerned because he felt like he wanted to hit her. I asked him, Did you say I love you? His answer was, Yes, Mom, and that's what stopped me. Wow, that is powerful. And then sometimes, um, like if I'm in a situation, I'll get irritated, and then sometimes I feel like an explosive irritation, and I just let that move through me as I'm saying thank you, I love you, and then um, I know that it's just a memory. I don't know what triggers that explosive emotion, if it's the person or a circumstance. One time I was walking on my way to a garden, and all of a sudden I saw something in the garden. It's a statue of a frog, and for some reason I got afraid. And I've passed through that thing through the garden, I don't know how many hundreds of times. And and I was like, what is this about? And then it flashed, the flash came, the insight, the light bulb. When I was 5 years old, I used to stay with my aunt, and she had a stuffed frog. And I didn't have good feelings staying with my aunt and uncle, but I was dropped off because I was the product of a single parent household. And so I had to be dropped off there. And so the memory of seeing that frog, you guys, the memory of seeing the frog this present day, how many times have I passed that frog and then I just never made the association of the childhood frog that had the negative connotation? So, what if I went to the garden and for some reason I felt angry or irritable? And it's because I decided to be next to that frog. Like Ho'oponopono, for me, I get flashes of when I was young and I know things are clearing up. Some people may or may not experience that, but this has happened for me lots of times. Like one time I was angry, I got angry for no reason, or so I thought, but there was a commercial playing in the background, television commercial. I don't watch TV, but I was hanging out with someone, and something on the commercial was a trigger from something way back in my childhood. And I wasn't even consciously aware of the TV or the commercial playing because sometimes I'll be on the computer watching YouTube videos or I'll be reading. So we are picking up so much stuff in our environment, but we don't even know. So that's another reason why we should be doing Ho'oponopono, because it's clearing what we don't even know needs to be clear, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Undoubtedly, some people will think that this is too easy, that it can't be. Yes, I agree. It sounds easy and it is easy. The process itself is very easy. The hard part is doing it all the time. In each moment of our lives, we have the chance to take 100% responsibility and to erase our programming. But generally, we react, we worry, we have opinions and judgments. By doing this, we waste time and energy. It is enough just to remember that problems are not really problems. The way in which we react to them is the problem. Opinions and judgments that we have about the problem are the true problem. Our perception of the problem is the problem. The worst part about this is that every time that we decide to react instead of letting go, we sacrifice our true identity, our true being, which is our God state. And we do it simply because of that habit of ours of always wanting to be right, dead right. We only have two choices: living according to our true being or according to our tapes, letting ourselves be guided by divine inspiration or by our old programs that we have tried before and didn't work. The more we erase, the more we begin to have the experience of who we really are. The only reason of our existence in this world is to discover who we are. Through the cleaning we do using the tools of Ho'oponopono, we can discover our true identity. Our true identity is to be abundant, to be successful, to be healthy. I, I want to make clear that by using any of these tools, we are taking 100% responsibility and we are implicitly saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is inside of me that is causing this. We are asking and letting go and letting God. So, why do we clean? Why do we ask for forgiveness? Because we want to be free. because we are tired of living the lies we have chosen to believe, because we have suffered enough. Amen. We have suffered enough. It is time to find ourselves, to discover ourselves, to be happy, to enjoy life, to love ourselves and accept ourselves just as we are. The human condition is to be happy. Have you noticed that when we are happy, everything comes easy? Yes, indeed. Yes, I have noticed that. The journey is long. We have a lot to clean, a lot to erase. It's it's a job that must be done 24 hours a day, but the rewards are immeasurable. In the process, we can experience love, we can enjoy life, and we can discover that we are already perfect beings. We can attract everything we need without any effort. We can learn to be ourselves and to love unconditionally. We can choose suffering or happiness, sickness or health, fear or love. Whatever we decide, it will be okay. It will be our choice. Take good care of yourselves. Receive all my love. So, in the lectures, not sure if it was Dr. Hewlin, it probably was. Probably it was Dr. Hewlin who said, we might not get cleared this lifetime. And I do want to give you hope because that kind of sounds undaunting. Um, in the Bible, it says God will restore the cankerworm, and I forget the rest of the scripture, but basically, oh, and also one day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. So at first, I was undaunted when I said we might have to be clearing for lifetimes, like, we might die and not having been cleared. Um, I don't know if I agree with that because, like I said, the scripture um, basically, when it says he will restore the cankerworm, uh, it means that, you know, you might have had things go wrong, but overnight things can be restored instantly. So I'm going to be in hope that I can clear things this lifetime. Who knows what will happen, but because I have the hope, I'm going to keep hope alive. And maybe if enough people do Ho'oponopono, we can see more instantaneous clearing results. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I was inspired, or that those two scriptures came to mind. So do with that information what you will. You can even clean on it. And I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And so that was the end of that particular chapter. It next goes into the appendix, and then it goes to the easiest way to understanding Ho'oponopono, the clearest answers to your most frequently asked questions by Mabel Katz. A note from Mabel. Um, for me, and I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name, um, I see, as an American, I see Mabel, but it's Mabel. Let's see. From what I heard other people call her name. As I travel around the world presenting Ho'oponopono, I realize we all have the same questions and concerns, and I know that some of the information out there isn't very clear and is creating some confusion. I also know that the only way we're going to unlearn everything we have learned and deprogram everything we have been programmed is by listening and re listening, reading and rereading. In my own experience, my intellect needed to listen a little bit to be willing to let go. You guys, like I said, it took us a long time to walk. We didn't learn to walk overnight. We fell, we got back up again, and we just kept trying until we did it. Um, I wanted to say that yesterday, Mabel produced, or she didn't produce it yesterday, but her book was made available yesterday. Well, I don't know when it was available, but I got the email yesterday that she has another book out, It is called, I'm just looking on Amazon now. There is a Kindle version. It's it's a question and answer book. And it was 99 cents. I don't, oh, it's still 99 cents. I will leave the link um, in the comment box or in the description box down below. It's called 100 Questions About Ho'oponopono. And yeah, it's 100 questions. I did get it, even though I said I wasn't going to buy another book, but I had enough credit on my account to purchase the book for 99 cents. And I don't know how long it's going to last for 99 cents for. Okay. And if you want me to read some of the questions and answers from that book, let me know. Uh, I'm going to read a few questions in about a few minutes. So let's see. As you already know, I love questions because it gives me the opportunity to come from inspiration. So I've decided to put together some answers to those questions that have been asked often during Ho'oponopono trainings all over the world. I hope this will help answer your questions and clarify some of your doubts, and that it will help you do more cleaning. If you aren't sure what cleaning is, it's explained in this book. I know when you practice Ho'oponopono, you'll see the results and we'll all benefit. With Ho'oponopono, you will learn to take 100% responsibility. Ho'oponopono helps you to let go of what is not you so that you can find out who you really are and fall in love with yourself. Only when you love and accept yourself can you love and accept others. As you find yourself, you'll find your passion. As you find your passion and trust, you will find your purpose. When you find your purpose and do what you love, the money will come. As you do what you love, you will be happy. You will find yourself at the right place at the right time, and others will be able to do the same. You will find out that 100% responsibility is the easiest way to peace, happiness, love, wealth, and success. Okay, now these are the questions and answers. What is Ho'oponopono? Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving. The original Hawaiians used to practice this. Dr. Hewlin, my Ho'oponopono teacher, says that these Hawaiians came from other galaxies. What? What? I'm saying that because um, Frederick Dodson, I think, connected Hawaiians or the Polynesians to the Pleiades. Don't quote me on that, but it just doesn't surprise me that Hawaiians came from other galaxies. Many religions are practiced in Hawaii as everywhere else, so not everyone in Hawaii practices Ho'oponopono. Some people in Hawaii have never heard of it. Morna Simona, Dr. Hulin's teacher, brought these teachings to us and updated them for modern times. In the past, you needed the whole family present, and one by one they would ask for forgiveness from each other. Now we know that there is no one else out there. It is just our thoughts of the other person, our own memories of the other person. So we take 100% responsibility and clean those memories. Whatever gets erased from us gets erased. Whatever gets erased from us gets erased from other people, our family, relatives, and ancestors, and the earth. It gets erased from everything. You do not need to be in the presence of others to ask their forgiveness. Now you can do it in your own home. Memories are all inside of us. As we clean, whatever comes off of us will come off of them without the need to be in their presence. Ho'oponopono means to make right, to make it right, to correct an error. I have to switch my posture, my position, because my foot is falling asleep. Okay, hold on. Everything that shows up in our life is a memory, a program playing an error, and it shows up in our life to give us an opportunity to let go, to clean, to delete. Ho'oponopono is the delete key on the keyboard of our computer. See, when you misspell a word, you don't talk to the monitor and tell the monitor, "How many times did I tell you how to spell that word?" You know the monitor can't do anything about it. You can talk to the monitor all day long, but the monitor looks at you like, "What does she want me to do?" If you want to change something, you need to delete first, create that empty space in order to put in the right information. Yes, 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 yes. Ho'oponopono takes us, and the reason why I'm saying yes, 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 yes is because I like to put in programs. I like to clean, and sometimes I will put in programs of health. Like, I am healthy. And my favorite affirmation is to say, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Ho'oponopono takes us back to the void, to zero, so that inspiration can show up in our life and guide us. That way we can be at the right place at the right that way we can be at the right time at the right place. Now, for me, I love affirmations. I know some people get triggered by affirmations, so maybe you don't have to say the affirmation. Maybe you will be led to do something else, like read a book, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I feel so abundant," or something, or "I feel so healthy." But for me, my inspiration is to say, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. What does it mean to be 100% responsible? If, what does it mean to be 100% responsible? You are attracting everything in your life. You don't realize it, but the memories playing inside of you attract everything in your life. You hold data, programs, information, memories that you have accumulated since the beginning of creation. And our DNA is literally data. So if your grandfather had a disease, you you are likely to inherit that disease. It is likely. I don't want to say you are likely. There is a possibility that you will inherit that disease. That's what the DNA passes on to you. But we can clear it. Now, I don't know how um, the health aspect of it works. I just know that I'm going to do it on faith and clear, clear, clear. But I know there are videos out there where Dr. Hewlin is saying that someone got healed. Um, Joe Vitale's mother, she was in a hospital. People were dying all around her. He did Ho'oponopono. He wasn't expecting any results. She was supposed to die within a certain amount of time, but she actually surpassed anyone's expectations. And I think she lived 4 years, if not more years, than what she was supposed to. So Ho'oponopono works for healing. I will let you know if I have any personal testimonies. As of yet, I don't have any, but I am clearing. Okay. You hold data, programs, information, memories that you have accumulated since the beginning of creation. I have something for you. So, my mom was sick, and um, she got sick as soon as we came back from our cruise. And she was coughing on the cruise, and I was like, "Oh, she's sick. I don't want to get it." And then instead of, I didn't clear, but the opportunity came back up for me to clear. And when I talk about synchronicities, I was listening to Dr. Joseph Murphy, and he said, "And see your mom well." And she had kind of started to relapse and get sick again. But he said that, and so I knew that it was my opportunity to say, and of course I cleared, um, but it was my opportunity to say, "Oh, my mom is healthy and whole. I see her as whole." And she didn't fully relapse. Yes, she coughed a couple of times. It was the flu. She coughed a couple of times, but then when I started saying, I see her whole and healthy, it was like that program got deleted. The flu program got deleted. And when I went to Vancouver in March of 2016, I caught a cold. And then the next year, I caught a cold that same time in March. And I believe I caught a cold that following year in March. And so I started clearing that, and I have not caught a cold in March again. So I know that healing and programs, uh, sickness and data and programs can be healed or cleared. But of course, follow your intuition and your inspiration, and be smart about it. If you need professional help, get professional help. Okay. Let's see. You hold data programs, information memories that you have accumulated since the beginning of creation. Therefore, you're responsible for all your memories that replay as problems that you experience. You were created perfect. You are perfect. Perfect means no memories, no beliefs, no attachments, no judgments. But the memories are not perfect, and many of your memories come from your ancestors. Nothing is what you think it is. Okay, so that is the excerpt that I'm going to read today, and let me know what you think. I love hearing from you, and I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you're at in the world. Talk to you later. Bye.